Hello and welcome to episode 1, where we're talking all about clarity. I'm so excited you're here. This is your first loving butt kick from me because it's an important conversation. I believe that waiting for clarity is the equivalent to settling. So, in the intro episode, I invited you to message me over on Instagram and to share what you're no longer available for. So, today we are shifting the conversation to what you are available for. Now, you know in your gut that there is another level available to you, and you know that you are meant for more. We've clarified that. It's a big green tick. So, the big question is, what is your more? What do you want? It's a hard question to answer, isn't it? So I've noticed from working with clients for almost 10 years that there tends to be two ways that we screw ourselves over with this. It's a really hard question to answer, isn't it? Now, I've noticed from working with clients for almost 10 years now that there tends to be two ways that we screw ourselves over with this question. Firstly, waiting for clarity to land around what your thing is and staying stuck in inaction until it arrives. So I want to give you a different perspective on this today. And the second way that we make it more frustrating than we need to is wanting to know the how. Like, sadly, we don't get that info. So what I learned on my journey to my more is that the how only becomes clear when we look backwards on how we got here. Like, I didn't know all the steps that would get me here. And at times I didn't know exactly where I was heading, but along the way it became clearer and clearer. And that is why I am and always have been a massive advocate for action taking and setting goals and doing your part in meeting clarity en route. So whilst we want the clear vision and we want every step that's required to get there, it doesn't work like that for the majority of us. Like, you get clarity by trying things. You get clarity by asking questions, getting clear what matters to you, like revisiting your values and what's important to you, but mainly by taking imperfect, messy, uncomfortable action. Yeah, I know this is not the answer that you wanted, but the fastest route to clarity is to get yourself into action mode and to be okay not knowing all the steps. It's hard to take action when you're stuck in self-doubt and fear. Like, the only way that I can make myself do it is to connect every action step with something that's important to me. So if action brings clarity, but taking action without certainty of a result is too scary, how do we get ourselves to do it? Like, we need a motivator. So instead of waiting for clarity to arrive or for your big vision or dream for your life, or your purpose, the legacy that you're here to lead. Like, instead of getting stuck in all of that stuff, instead of waiting for that, you have to go out and claim it. But action is confronting. Like, we need a reason to take it. And this is about, what's the motivation right now? What is the why for now? Now, for me, what works is focusing on the next 1 to 3 years. Now, when I'm thinking up my next more, or what I'm motivated to create or work towards next, that is a time frame that works really well for me. Now, you can play around with what feels like a good amount of time for you to dream about your life and your business and what it's going to look and feel like in the future. But 1 to 3 years works really well because it's a chunk of time where you could make a big transformation, and also not too far away that the motivation is hard to keep because the reward of arriving is so far away. So I'm going to give you 2 examples from my experiences about internal motivators, because without them, I wouldn't have created what I've created for myself, which has surpassed all of my original dreams when I started my business. And that is what I want you to know. By not waiting for clarity, en route to trying to find it, incredible things happened. And you go and create an extraordinary pinch me life that I couldn't even have dreamt up before. So if I'd waited for clarity to come, well, I'm sure my life would look and feel very different right now. When I started my business, my big dream was that my big dream that I used to motivate myself was simply, I want to build a business that I love and that I can run from anywhere in the world. And my main goal, like a lot of us, was freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, the freedom to choose when and how and who I work with, the freedom to choose when and how and with who I work. Now, as someone who's always loved traveling, this felt incredibly motivating to dream about a life where I could earn money doing what I love and travel as and when I desired. Like, of course, that helped me get me out of my own way and do the things that felt scary. because I had this incredible lifestyle I was working towards. Now, that freedom lifestyle has been my reality for the last 7 years because I didn't wait for clarity. I didn't have people around me when I started doing things differently. So I had to find a way to motivate myself with a big dream for my life. But it's got to be personal to you. Like, what excites you? Like, follow the thing that sparks something inside of you, because when the going gets tough, which we all know it will, you've got to have something deep inside to dig for, to make it worthwhile. Like, somebody else's goal isn't going to do it. A should goal isn't going to do it. So I got out there and I started taking action, and every single step took me somewhere, giving me more clarity on what my next step was. And of course, like, along the way, I surpassed all of my original dreams for my business. I was traveling the world. I was speaking on international stages. I was hiring apartments and hosting VIP days. I was hosting retreats. I was making amazing friends. And in the process, I was growing into the next level version of me. And for me, that is super inspiring, because I am so, like, personal development is and I was growing in the process into the next level version of me. Hang on, what did I say? And of course, along the way, I'd achieved all of my original dreams for my business. I was traveling the world. I was speaking on international stages, hiring apartments and hosting VIP days. I was hosting retreats. Then I was making amazing friends and growing in the process into the next level version of me. And for me, that is super inspiring. I love that, because personal growth is a value of mine. And so that felt really good, even when faced with, like, the inevitable challenges along the way. And then outgrowing that and wanting a home and choosing Spain and all of the growing pains of outgrowing a vision and being ready for a new one. Like, it's very likely that you're going to outgrow your goals and your dreams. And that is why we are not looking for the one big vision for your life, the legacy that you're here to lead. Like, when you're waiting for clarity, you don't need that right now. So that's why I want you to focus on what feels expansive at the moment. In the next 1 to 3 years, what would I love to create? And then trust that on the way, more clarity will come. Let go of all that pressure of getting the right vision and decide that you're going to claim more from life and business, and you are going to do it. And decide that you're going to claim more from life and business, and that you're going to do it without clarity. Like, you're going to change and grow, and what you want and desire will change, and that's normal. So I really want to get you into the energy of, what's my more for now? Like, what motivates me right now? It might be the new house, it might be mortgage freedom, or for you, it might be work 3 days a week. It doesn't matter what it is, it's just got to be personal to you. And once I had created that freedom lifestyle business once I had created the freedom lifestyle business, I needed a new way to motivate myself into action. And something shifted in me, and the purpose for my business became about empowering others instead of being about creating a freedom lifestyle for myself. And now, when I think about the Meant for More movement, it's already a global movement, which is amazing. And I want to impact more women, and I want to make a bigger difference. And that fires me up to get out of my own way. Like, this is currently my big motivator for my business. It's so powerful when my clients are telling me, oh my gosh, something has shifted. I feel like a different person. I've just had the best financial quarter yet. Like, when all of that comes, it's just like drives me to be like, I can't not show up. I've got to get out of my own way. I also have personal mores that I work towards. Now, if I go back to the start, I want you to think about small tweaks. Now, let's come back to the small ones. I remember one of my motivators when I was just dreaming about being self-employed and being in control of my own schedule was, 1, to not have to wake up to an alarm, and 2, to be able to go to the gym in the middle of the day instead of going at peak times before and after work when you have to queue for everything. So you got to think about these small little motivators, right? Then you go out and you achieve them. Then you'll need a new more, or a new motivator, or a new dream. Start practicing claiming something more, baby steps, and then it's going to become and then it's going to go, and then it's going to become addictive, and you're going to start stretching for a bigger more. I didn't know what my purpose was when I started my business. I knew every step was a stepping stone to where I was meant to be going, and of course, every step gave me more and more clarity on what my thing was. And you can't think your way to clarity, unfortunately. I tried. It's very painful. It's a slow, not very scenic route. Now, I'm so motivated by my clients. Oh, can we just take the bit out before when I said about my clients telling me their successes? Sorry. Now I'm so motivated by my clients and their successes. I use this to move me through self-doubt and resistance and all the stuff that gets in the way of us taking action, because it's no longer about me. It's about helping others. So when I'm getting messages saying like, Joe, something has shifted. I feel different. I'm showing up differently. I've just had my best financial quarter. Like, the reality is I wasn't ready for my purpose to land any sooner than it did. I couldn't have held space for the transformations that I now do. And I needed to go on my own journey and to grow and do all the growth and the experimentation for myself to be able to hold space for them. Like, when you commit to transforming your life or growing your business, you commit to getting very uncomfortable over and over again. You've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, which means taking action without all the answers, because that one step you take this week is going to give you so much information about what's coming next. So you've got to make your next move before your next move will appear sometimes. So you have to make your next move before you know what the one after that will appear. So you have to make your next move before you know what the next one is sometimes. Clarity comes from taking action. Like, people who crave something different, who resonate with the meant for more philosophy, they don't ever arrive somewhere and say, right, I think I'll settle here, because there truly isn't an end destination for us. Like, you don't arrive at success, hit the rooftop for a champagne celebration, and then you're done. For us, it's about loving the life out of working towards something that personally motivates us, like enjoying being there. And then when we arrive, and then being open to a new, more landing. Like, most of the women I work with are motivated by making a difference. They're here to make an impact. And that is incredibly powerful at getting you out of your own way. And I use that all of the time to get me into action mode in my business. So yeah, it's basically a practice that we do again and again and again. And this is why I have a mastermind called The Lab, which is all about stepping into your next level again and again, and then claiming your more, because you don't arrive and you're done. It's a lab because we get in there and we experiment and we try different things, and we get out there and we take action and we learn. So don't get stuck waiting for clarity to land. Get out there and find it. Get out there and find it. That is how you get clarity. And you only need your next motivator to get started. So for me, it did start as the big dream about my lifestyle, and now it's tweaks to different areas of my life. But it is my job to find something to pull me forwards, because stagnant is not a place that feels good. Mediocre and average are not for me. And you cannot get this wrong. So yeah, it's going to take courage, but isn't it better to feel a bit uncomfortable sometimes instead of sitting still and waiting for clarity to land and feeling stagnant? Yes, it takes courage, but isn't it better to feel a bit uncomfortable sometimes instead of sitting still and waiting for clarity to land and feeling stagnant? Don't wait for clarity to come. Go out and find it. That is your part of the deal. Like, if you knew that clarity was waiting for you to make the next move so that she could make hers, you'd make it. What you want wants you, and it is waiting for you to make the next move. So give yourself permission to make that move. Trust that it will be the exact right stepping stone to where you're heading. That is our biggest job as an entrepreneur, to have something pulling us forwards and then to connect with it all the time. So for me, that looks like waking up and spending a few minutes in the morning connecting to my big dream and my vision for what I'm creating for my life and my business. So if you're feeling a bit restless or unmotivated, then I found in my experience that comes up when it's time to claim my next more. And so I revisit different exercises. Now I've got a bit of a bulging toolkit, but today I wanted to share a lovely exercise with you called the life audit. So what I do is I basically put my life and my business into different kind of compartments. So as an example, I'd put business, health and wellness, finance, relationships, maybe home environment if you're looking to upgrade that. And I give each of those areas a mark out of 10. So 10 is being like, this is exactly how I want it to be. And then what you can see is which of the areas have the lowest score. So this is what needs your attention. What would it take? What would need to change? What would need to be different in that area to get it closer to a 10? And that is how you start getting clarity on what is my next step. This is about taking intentional action. So if action brings clarity, let's start taking intentional action in the areas that we want to improve. Now, I've also got a 10-minute future self guided visualization for you, which is really magical for bringing what we want next out of us. So you can head to joebendel.com/visualization to grab that. And then hit the journal and write out this following sentence. And I want you to tell yourself this regularly. I give myself permission to take imperfect action and to trust that clarity will come exactly as and when it is meant to. I'm exactly where I need to be. This is what my journey looks like, and I'm ready for more, which means I'm ready to make the next move. What I want wants me, and it is waiting for me to make. What I want wants me, and it is waiting for me to make the next move. So to wrap this one up, clarity comes from action. Your job is to get clear what your next move is and to trust fully that every step is going to give you exactly what you need.